We filled all this in the last video lecture, but let's see what you remember. Now we want to use all of this that we've written down to answer some of the questions shown below. Let me remind you again that you should have these notes printed, and if you don't, you should be writing all of this down. If it's been a couple of days, and it shouldn't have been, since you listened to the last lecture, I would suggest writing down all of this information again from memory if you can. So if we look at question 1, we're asked for the sine of 60 degrees plus the tangent of 180 degrees. Well, if I look up top, I can see my 60-degree triangle, and I see that sine is y over r. Y is root 3, r is 2, using the 60-degree triangle. Tangent of 180 degrees. If we look at 180 degrees, I see that it's a point on the unit circle. Tangent is y over x, 0 over -1. This is, of course, simply root 3 over 2. Find the tangent of 45 degrees. We see that tangent is y over x, and we're using our 45-degree angle, our 45-degree triangle. Y is 1, x is 1. Now find the cosine of 30 degrees. We see that cosine is x over r, using our 30-degree triangle. X is root 3 and r is 2. We do have to simplify this. So I can write 1 over 1 as 2 over 2. This becomes 2 minus root 3 all over 2. Why don't you try the next one? All right, sine of 45 degrees, you use the 45-degree triangle. Y is 1, r is root 2. The cosine of negative 360 degrees, that simply meant that we were going in a clockwise direction on our unit circle until we arrived at negative 360 degrees. We see that cosine is x over r. X is positive 1 and r is 1. So notice that negative 360 degrees didn't make our ratio negative. It just told us which direction to go. We, of course, can simplify 1 over root 2, and there's our final answer. Try the next one. Cosine of 30 degrees, you use the 30-degree triangle, where x is root 3 and r is 2. Sine of 270 degrees, we're here on the unit circle, where y is -1 and r is positive 1. So we can simplify this to root 3 plus 2 over 2 and write it as root 3 plus 2 all over 2. Answer question 5. So for the tangent of 45 degrees, you use the 45-degree triangle. You saw that y was 1 over x equals 1. Cosine of negative 90 degrees told us to go in a clockwise direction to negative 90 degrees, where we found that x is 0 over r, which is 1. So we have 1 over 0. This is undefined. Finish up with question 6. For sine of 30 degrees, you use the 30-degree triangle. Y is 1 over R is 2. Tangent of 180 degrees, we're at this point on the unit circle where we see that y is 0 over x negative 1. A half times 0 is equal to 0. Go to the Pearson homework assignment for this week. Practice these questions. Draw the triangles and the unit circle from memory a couple of times before you do the next video lesson.